Currently, my work is very moody. I don't feel very moody. All of my clothing has a story. I mean, I have stuff that I've held on to. Oh golly. I even have like baby clothes still. I can't get rid of them because it's an emotional story to me. Clothing is an emotion, and it's a way to express how I'm feeling every day without telling anyone how I'm feeling. And that's what clothing is for me in fashion. I use a lot of vintage tools and materials in my garment making. A, because I saw them a lot when I was deconstructing, and B, I think they give more longevity in your clothing and materials. Using organza in a sleeve to create a puff and volume, using horsehair braid as a trim, formal boning. I'm using these techniques to make them even more special and make them even more tried and true, so you do have them in your closet for your the entirety of your life, or you pass them down to somebody else. Because in the end, that's what's going to keep this world around, is the greener side of things. Decay was my fall 2014 line. And once again, it started with an emotion. I was going through a process of decay in my own life. And the words that I were coming up with was like falling apart, decay, withering. And out of this decaying process, you have beauty and life that comes out of it. You know, the decaying leaves in autumn end up turning into the dirt that apple tree is using as nourishment to create an apple. So something beautiful coming out of decay. I did a print of rats breaking down the environment and turning them into something else. So I've got a rat print that I did. I also have a leaf print of a decaying leaf where you just have like the skeletal membrane of the leaf, dark woolens, dark silks, like that really rancid yellow. I really love rancid yellow. When I'm coming up with a collection, I reflect on the mood that I'm in at that moment in time, where I'm at in my life and what's happening personally. It definitely comes from what I'm going through and an emotion and a concept. And I take that concept and then start to reach out to the people and creatives around me, musicians, artists, videographers, painters, and start to chat with them about these little ideas that are stemming, out of my brain and my emotions. And there's a specific musician I work with a lot here in Portland who I give him these words and my vocabulary of what I'm thinking of as a concept, and then he starts to come up with music and gives me sound bites that I then listen to while I'm sketching and come up with color stories. And then it just all sort of comes together at this one tipping point and falls off the edge and becomes a collection. And it's really strange, like I can't do it on my own. I definitely need the people around me, but it is really personal. And it just takes these other people to kind of draw that out. It's still really emotional to me because it is placing, just like a tattoo, it's placing a moment and an emotion in time for me. And I think that's what makes my work different from other fashion designers. One of the greatest things about Portland is we all get to be an individual, and that's where I think creativity is stemmed, is not being afraid and letting your flag fly. Freakish if it may be, or not freakish. Everyone here is really, really supportive of one another, and that includes fashion designers here in town. We're all like a little tight family, helping one another out, giving tips of where to source this or where to get that, and that's incredible to have that kind of support because it's an incredibly tough industry.